All right. What about the Charlotte Hornets? What do you think about their upcoming season this year and their offseason?
I call you the walking, talking triple-double, right?
Yep.
And I think one of the things that makes Hold My Banner so great and our dynamic so great is I'm not a host that sits up here and talks over you or acts like, I forgot more basketball than anyone will ever know. I lean on you a lot of times for the behind the curtain, the behind the scenes, what the players are thinking. Take me in the locker room. In this question, I want to take you to the trainer's table.
Okay.
And here's what I mean. Honestly, I'm being totally serious.
Okay, let me get my serious face on. All right,
what kind of sorcery did the Warriors do to Steph Curry? I ask that because no one ever talks about this.
Right.
Early Steph Curry was sensational, but he had ankle issues.
Yes.
And they were constant.
Yep.
And then, all of us felt like this guy's a great shooter, even though he got even better, which is nuts. He's a great shooter, but can he last? Is he true? Is he big enough? His ankles. And then somehow, some way, I'll give credit where it's due. It was years. It was a process.
Yes.
But, ankles were never an issue. Steph becomes Steph.
Yep.
I asked that question because if I can get said sorcery on LaMelo Ball, I think the sky's the limit for him and the Hornets. I've been waiting. I think a Hornets fan will tell you that. This kid is so good. I believe he can make players. I've heard people on the knock on him. I've heard people say, well, does he make anyone better? Sure, he can score. He can this.
Yep.
But does he make – I think he does. He's an excellent passer. He's an underrated passer in this league, if you ask me. I love – once upon a time, they were my favorite team to watch on League Pass. They were. But then he gets hurt, and they're unwatchable.
Yeah.
They have young talent. It's almost like talking about the Hawks again. They have young talent all over the place. But can he stay healthy? It's not even about, is he a leader? Does he make guys better? Hell, that'll play itself out if we can see him stay healthy for a full season. I need to see that. If I do, I think sky's the limit. I'm a big Hornets fan, but this kid gets hurt when the wind blows, Ountae.
Yeah, he does. And to answer your question, Steph has Del Curry as his father. LaMelo has LeVar. And LeVar putting out those BBB basketball shoes and putting his kids in those things that would tear apart every quarter like Lonzo would talk about has ruined the health of them and their future kids.
Tay, you think? So is he – let me ask you this.
Yes.
Is he damaged goods in the sense of –
No.
Okay.
No.
You saw where I was going.
This is year 5.
Can he not ever get healthy?
No, this is year 5.
Okay.
I'm not even really worried about the health. I feel like, yes,
really?
Obviously it's scary what Lonzo has gone through, right? It's all of that. But my thing is LaMelo's his own person. He's a very different player than Lonzo. He's a very different athlete than Lonzo.
Yeah.
He's a different guy, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, the injury history would make me a little bit nervous with the ankles, but, yeah, I think he ends up wearing some ankle braces probably this year. Fit, ankle mobility, strength, all that other stuff that they put us athletes through.
He's had a lot of things.
Yeah, you're right. I just think that eventually it will come to a point where he starts to figure it out. That's what I'm hoping, at least. My bigger issue with LaMelo is the the brain between his ears.
Yeah.
Is he ready to be a leader? You said, this kid, and that stuck in my head. This kid.
Yeah.
He's 23 years old now. This is year 5.
That's fair.
Is he ready to take the leap as a leader? Like we asked for Trae Young to do, which I know Trae Young's further along.
Sure.
But it's time for us to see progress. I mean, this Hornets team has been the same team since he's got there, right?
Yeah.
They haven't made the playoffs. They're never really in contention for the playoffs. No one really cares about them. And
they're irrelevant.
There's fun. There's highlights.
Yeah.
There's Miles Bridges dunks. There's LaMelo shooting from half court. You know what I mean? There's Brandon Miller crossing people up and dunking on dudes. But where is the substance? There hasn't been any. And it starts with your point guard and the guy who is the leader of the franchise, right?
No, right.
Can he be a leader? That's what I want to know.
That's fair. By the way, I like Brandon Miller.
Me too.
I like Miles Bridges.
Me too. On the court.
On the court. I think, but again, to your point, it does go back to leadership, because even those two players I said and we're talking about, they're talented guys, but nothing about them says leadership. Nothing about them says I need a bucket, give it to them.
No.
It has to be ball. And I don't know how you say, you're not as concerned with the injury. That is my only concern. Again, look, I might be rolling the dice here, but you know me, I'm a gambling man.
Yep.
I think the kid, I keep saying it, right? I think the kid is a leader.
Yeah.
I think it's all health.
Okay.
I have more. Let me say this. This is a bold proclamation. I have more questions about Trae Young, the leader, than I do him.
That's fair.
And the only reason is because he's not healthy long enough for me to see if he is.
Yeah.
So I'm just going benefit of the doubt. The style of his game.
Yeah.
LaMelo, I'm talking about. The style of his game lends itself to being a leader. He's ball dominant. He's a great passer, as I said. Obviously, he can score. He's very verbal. He's not like he's talking to his guys. He seems communal. And I know you brought up the dad, right?
Yep.
I got this from Lonzo, too. The dad is so big personality and domineering and loud and obnoxious.
Yep.
You sort of project it onto the kids, but Lonzo's not like that. And I don't think LaMelo's like. Now, LaMelo's flashy. Yep. He's got an aura. Don't get me wrong. But he doesn't strike me as a guy. Again, we're not there. We don't cover the team day to day.
Yep.
But from the outside looking in, he doesn't feel like a guy that teammates don't like.
Right.
Or, I think he feels like someone that everyone gets along with and enjoys playing alongside.
100%.
Because of that, whereas Trae Young feels sometimes I'm Trae Young. He feels larger than life.
Yep.
Comparison to his teammates. My thing is all health.
Yeah.
If LaMelo can stay on the floor, I think you'll see that. I think you will see the capability to lead, and we can count on him. But my thing is the best ability is availability, right?
Yes.
How can I count on you?
Right.
How can you be my franchise player?
100%.
How can you make guys better? How can we be better? Bro, I'm looking at the standings. They don't belong down here with the damn Wizards.
No, they don't.
And the Pistons.
They don't.
What are you doing?
You're right. And I look at this roster, and it's crazy because I've said this on other episodes or other team previews, but this team reminds me a lot of the Rockets. It's a team that has a couple of guys who, that are budding stars, right? And then they have a lot of really good young role players who could be good players in this league, right?
Yeah.
So you got the guys who are supposed to be the stars, LaMelo, Brandon Miller. Then you have a lot of really good role players with Cody Martin, Miles Bridges, Grant Williams.
Yeah.
We want to see if Trey Mann can be one, right?
Yeah.
Josh Green was last year. Mark Williams and Nick Richards had a good year last year. Nick Smith Jr. was a good guy for them last year. Then they have a veteran with Steph, veteran with Taj Gibson.
Yeah.
I just named off like 10, 15 guys, you know what I mean, that are really good, have had good seasons in the NBA at one point or another, right?
No, it's true.
Really, it comes down to this. Can LaMelo and Brandon Miller take the leaps that they need to take this team where it needs to go? Because I agree. Them being in the bottom three of the East shouldn't be where they are at. They should be closer to where the Atlanta Hawks were last year.
I was going to say that. They should be in play. I always call it play-in-ville.
Right.
Here's 6 degrees of separation of the Boston Celtics. I love your comp of the Rockets.
Right.
You and I saw the Rockets' success coming. We called it right on the show. But they're led by Ime Udoka.
Yes.
Who we know will maximize
and
the
we
talent.
don't know what Charles Lee is yet.
We don't know what Charles Lee is, who, again, assistant from the Celtics we love around here.
Right.
I love him extra because he's a DMV guy.
Right.
But we don't know. Is he Ime? I don't know.
We don't know.
Because it's unknown, I'm not willing to fully go with that comp.
Yes.
Because that's the difference. Yes, both teams, Rockets and Hornets, are super young, athletic, up and down the roster. You have really great high-end players, young high-end players, and they should take that leap like we saw the Rockets do.
Yes.
But they took the leap because of the coach.
They did.
Does that make sense? So I need to see Charles Lee before I can just anoint anything.
That's
I
fair.
know this. Even if he can't coach his way out of a wet paper bag, which we know better than around here, we know he can.
Yes.
They have to be better than they were last year.
Yeah.
I'll go. Now, this is a bet I'd be willing to make. I would bet over on their win total, and I would plug my nose and just hope that LaMelo can stay healthy, because that's really what it's about.
Yeah, that's all it's about. You're 100% right.